Hi, and welcome back to Stop Being Sold. My name is Michelle, and I'm here with Brian. And in today's video, we're covering the reintroduced Social Security Fairness Act that's now gaining bipartisan traction in Congress. This bill is not new. It's over a decade in the making. And if it's passed, it would change part of the 1935 Social Security Act to revoke two longstanding provisions that impact the retirement savings of a specific subset of federal retirees. But as we'll get into, should this pass, it affects everyone receiving Social Security benefits.
Yep.
Do us a favor, though. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any Social Security related updates from Brian and myself. And also hit that like button to help us grow this channel. All right, Brian, break down for us what's in this bill and whom it specifically impacts.
Before I do that, let me tell you where the bill stands right now.
Okay.
On March 4th, U.S. Representatives Abigail Spanberger and Garrett Grace wrote a letter to the House Ways and Means Committee urging them to take the next step to bring this bill to the U.S. House floor for a vote by holding a markup on the broadly bipartisan legislation.
Well, it makes sense because there's enough support in Congress. You have
Right.
308 members of Congress out of 435 that support this bill.
That's right. So back to your question about what's in this bill.
Mhm.
The Social Security Fairness Act, which is also known as House Rule 82, would repeal provisions that reduce Social Security benefits for individuals who receive other benefits, such as a pension from a state or local government.
Okay.
Second, it would eliminate the government pension offset, which is the GPO. That reduces Social Security benefits for spouses, wives, and widowers who also receive government pensions of their own.
So spouses, widows, and widowers.
Yes.
Okay.
And the third big thing is it's going to eliminate the windfall elimination provision, or otherwise known as the WEP, which in some instances would reduce Social Security benefits for individuals who also receive a pension or a disability benefit from an employer that did not withhold Social Security taxes.
Okay.
So basically, it proposes to eliminate both the WEP and the GPO provisions of the Social Security Act that, in everyone's opinion, has unfairly reduced or eliminated Social Security benefits for millions of Americans. And these folks are the ones that devoted much of their careers to public service, like your federal employers, the police officers, firefighters, and the school teachers. Yeah. You know, Michelle, I got a lot of personal experience with this due to working with school teachers, firefighters, and police officers over my years in the finance space. Ever since they signed up for retirement, they lost on average 40% of their Social Security benefits because they had a public pension. How do you think this makes them feel when they paid into a system, they supported their local communities, and then the government takes back up to 40% of their benefits?
Well, it ticks me off, so I'm sure it really ticks them off. What's really shocking about I had no idea this was a thing. So what I'm hearing, what's happening is that this group of people have been paying fully into Social Security only to receive 60% of the benefits that they put in, and the government keeps the rest.
Yeah, definitely. And both programs, the WEP and the GPO, this is exactly what happens. Think of a school teacher, Michelle, that works 9 months out of the year. And then during the 3 months off, they take a part-time job. Well, that part-time job paid into Social Security for maybe their 30 years of working, right? So they've got their 40 credit hours to qualify for full Social Security benefits, and the government takes it back because they call this double dipping, even though they paid into the system, and they lose up to 40% of their benefits.
So these school teachers would fall under the WEP program.
Yeah, which that impacts right now approximately 2 million Social Security beneficiaries.
Wow. And what about the GPO? How many does that impact? And just talk to us about that one. Like,
that's a little over 800,000 retirees, and it affects the spousal benefits of people who work as federal, state, or local government employees, and whose job wasn't covered by Social Security, right?
Sure.
The GPO reduces by 2/3 the benefit received by surviving spouses.
Wow. What's stopping Congress from passing this? If this is such a great benefit, is there a downside to this that I'm not seeing? Like, why haven't they passed it already?
Well, here's the gist of it. Imagine if 2.8 million people all of a sudden had access to the parts that have been reduced of their Social Security benefits, how fast would it drain Social Security?
Well, really, really, really fast.
Yeah, yes, it would. It's a shame, actually. But I understand why they're holding it back, because it affects more than the 2.8 million
Yeah,
people that's intended to help.
it's gonna
It affects
everybody.
everyone on Social Security.
Right.
And here's how. Because these funds need to come out of the current Social Security program, it's been quoted that it may push us 1 year closer to insolvency, which is
Right.
already close enough, right? That affects all Americans on Social Security today and all future generations.
Question: if it puts the whole of Social Security in jeopardy of running out of money sooner, won't they have to pass something else to fund or fix the current problem they have with Social Security before they make it worse? Or is that too logical?
I mean, why put the cart before the horse, right? but here's the problem. Both parties say they want to fix the problem. The Democrats want to raise taxes and the Republicans want to cut benefits, is the gist of it. And they both want to wait to the last damn minute. But just like every other bill,
exactly.
it's like, come on. And plus, neither party wants to make a decision during the election year, because this would be what they call political suicide.
Right.
So maybe that's why we're seeing the biggest exodus of long-term politicians in the recent months. They know this day's coming and they want no part of it. Could be just my opinion. I don't know.
I mentioned earlier this bipartisan act has 308 members of Congress supporting it, which is amazing that they can agree on anything.
Right.
Do you think that this now has a chance of being passed?
If this bill gets moved to the floor, it will get passed in the House because of the overwhelming support. There are more than enough votes to guarantee to pass this in the House today. And who would want to vote against this, especially because that's a huge election base that they're
well, and look, if you've paid into if you're paying into something, you're being forced to pay into something, you should get your rightful dues back.
That's what they
the government
say.
shouldn't take that. So well, they take everything else. So yes. Here's the thing. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut and end it on this. I suppose time will tell. So we will be on top of this. Hit that subscribe button, because Brian and I are on top of Social Security updates as they come in. Also, if you like the content of this video, hit that like button. And we're going to drop a video in the description, link in the description below, to a video that we did on the 2024 Social Security changes. Make sure to check that out. If you're nearing Social Security, about to take benefits, or you're currently receiving benefits, go watch that. It's got some important information in it.
Definitely.
All right, Brian, this is interesting. We'll see what happens here. Thanks for this conversation today. And as always, thank you to everyone who watched.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.